To awaken, to live in that enlightened place, is merely a habit. It is a practice for it to become a habit. If you agree with that statement or you don't, please listen on and I'll explain what I mean by that statement. So I'm Jason for AwakenedEssence.com. As a human being, what we are is a complex machine made up of various layers. We are all that is, the presence, the awakened state, being enlightened. Yes, this is true. We are already enlightened. The question is are you consciously aware of that right now? If not, then it's not true, is it? So how do you become aware of that awakened state? To live in that place of enlightenment where you are the beingness of life itself. It's pretty simple. You practice. It's a way of you to undo your habit of not being awake. It's a way of you undoing the habit of being unconscious. And all you have to do is just look at humanity to see how insanely unconscious it is. So, to be aware of presence, to be aware as presence, is a fairly simple process. And we'll do it right now, as I do in all the videos where I say, be aware of your hands. Both of them. As you feel your hands, notice you can also feel your backside and your tummy breathing. Now, if you cannot be aware of those 4 body parts at the same time, you will get it with practice. How did Tiger Woods get good at golf? Did he do it standing at a bar talking about golf? Did he get good at golf by having golf philosophy lessons? No. He went out and he practiced and he worked on his techniques and became a world leader at it. Same with Serena Williams and tennis. So these laws, the laws of grace that I talk about in this website, are fairly similar, and there are differences to the laws of success. And that is, you practice. You practice how to be who you are. And as you spend more time being who you are, that habit of holding that awareness, again, hands, tummy, backside, perhaps your feet if you can, depends how grounded you are, and notice that those areas physically in 3D time and space make a bigger box that allows this to be different from here. Yeah? Notice this here is not this here, though they both exist at the same time. Feel your hands. What's in between? Being aware of your tummy at the same time. Now, more subtly, underneath the gross feelings of these hands as I hold them out, like there's tension in the back here. I can feel my tummy. I can feel the fact that I'd like lunch right now. I can feel the wind and the noise of the windy, clangy thing. Right? But there is something more subtle. Something that allows space to be. And there are more and more subtle layers through that. But as you practice, you become aware of these different layers. You can feel them operating at the same time as you be a human being in life. As you do your job, as you take a shower, as you do the dishes, as you watch TV. That is a habit. So how do you get the habit of being in the enlightened place? The place of the nothingness that holds everything. The consciousness of the space and the stillness, the presence that allows everything to be as it is, as Adyashanti would say. By practice, you undo your habit of not being aware of who you truly are. As you get clearer on this, It becomes faster, easier. You hold it for more of your day. You hold it through more and more situations. But it is an active choice to be here. So it is a practice. If you don't like the word practice, call it honouring or whatever other word you like. Getting stuck on words is just a blockage to you having the peace and the stillness that you are right here in this instant. So, still aware of that space between your hands. As you undo the habit of not being present, you are left with the habit of being present, which is stable, abide as in live there, presence, which is, I would define as enlightenment. Doesn't mean I'm a saint, doesn't mean you would be a saint. We're all individuals, we all do stuff differently. It is that simple. The habit of being aware primarily that you are that space between those hands that's anchored in your body, your tummy, your backside, your feet, your pelvic floor is a good one also to be aware of. Because when you're aware of the lower parts of your body, you're underneath your emotions which will drag you out. So you lose the identification as the space, the nothingness, the everythingness that you are. Presence needs to be grounded in the body. You can make presence in your mind. And a lot of people believe they are present because they think space. Physically feel it at the same time, and it will change you very, very fast to a place where your practice is better. So the habit. As a human being, you are born as a baby that is literally in oneness. It's in the psychology texts. A baby doesn't know the difference between the woolen rug that it puts in its mouth and its toe. But if it bites the woolen rug, it doesn't hurt, therefore baby is fine. Baby bites its toe because they have that flexibility that they can. It hurts. Wah! They start crying. I have no idea why. Everything is one. So you develop that, terrible twos, terrible threes, and so on, depending on your upbringing and the environment. The ego develops and closes in, and I start owning things. I start knowing that that is mine. So the ego develops. The habit of identification, but also because you're brought up without enlightened parents that know anything about what I'm talking about, you lost touch with that stillness, that nothingness that contains everything. So your job as a person watching this video who hopefully wants to have a more peaceful life, a happy life, a joyful life, a blissful life from being in the present place. Right now, where are those hands? Where's the space? Check in. It's here. You get used to that because you've practiced it. You've undone the habits of being lost. If you're looking at your phone or at your computer at work and you're in there and you're doing complex things like engaging in a conversation on Facebook or an Excel formula, you might think you are not consciously aware of the stillness, but you can go snap in and snap out. Yeah, it's there. Cool. Your practice, your habit of checking in gets faster and faster, more regular. So it's normal. You undo the pathways that have been blocked by energetic trauma, emotional trauma, mental stuff, belief systems. So the stillness, the space, the presence is with you more and more through more and more testing, complex, involved situations. Like more involved, like for instance, the Excel formula. Complex situations, group dynamics, where there's lots going on. so you can actually hold the space at the same time. You will learn these things. It's a habit. Tiger Woods, golf. Relearning his swing. Practice, practice, practice. Awakening is a habit. Don't know of too many teachers that say that, but it's just my words for it, because I only use my words here, and you try it out. These simple principles, if you apply them, will bring you home fast. 5 years it took me. My clarity now means I can help others a lot faster. And by 5 years, I'm into permanent abiding stillness. Practice is a habit. Practice makes the habit. Remembering to practice is a deeply unconscious rooted thing that takes time. You can add things like hanging out with teachers, hanging out with friends that do this, but you prompt yourself, you come back. You can use your phone, you can use your computer. Technology these days, there is absolutely no excuse for not remembering to practice 6 times a minute, 6 times an hour, because your phone can tell you, or your computer can tell you. Although it can be inappropriate at work. How I used to get around that was I'd have an Outlook calendar item that I would snooze every 5 or 10 minutes, and it would just say sit straight. If anybody looked at me, what's that? It's reminding me to sit straight in my chair because I've got a bad posture. They don't need to know what you're doing. So awakening is a practice. Are you practicing that? It's a yes or no question. You can rate it from 1 to 10. Do I not practice? I remember to actually actively practice once a day. You will not awaken in this lifetime if you do that. How's that space? Feel your hands, feel the space in your tummy. What connects them, what nothingness allows. These gaps, as you feel it in your body, in your cells. Feel it in your body. You actually have to feel your tummy. You can think this space, but that's thinking space. You can rattle off the principles of this teacher or that person that died 2,600 years ago. That's the mind talking. Be aware of the space at the same time as your mind tells you what a teacher said, what Eckhart Tolle said. Be aware of that space at the same time. Learn to think while you hold the space. So as I look at you, I'm feeling the raindrops hitting me. Practice is a habit. I'll have to do another video on this because I didn't finish saying what I wanted to say, but I don't want to kill my phone either. Any questions? Make a comment. Check out some of the other videos and get a sense of that this can be a precise process if you get clear on what you need to do. You need to install the habit of being present. Deeply installed, like driving your car. Do you have to go through that process of how to change gears, or when shall I indicate, or look in your mirror to see if someone's going to, hit you? Nope. It's all unconscious. Your awakening is a habit. So I'm Jason for AwakenedEssence.com. You want to come home fast? Make contact and we'll talk over whether mentoring is useful for you. So have a happy dry day.